Y'all, what's up? What it do, soul fam? Happy 2025 to you. Welcome to Readings by K&M Witchery. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of you who may not know. Let's dive into your spiritual check-in, okay? We're going to see what it is that the collective soul fam needs to hear. Anything? I got nothing. As far as any preparations are concerned, I do want to say though, while we're shuffling in and seeing what we're going to be playing with today, by the way, I am using the modern Nirvana Oracle. So as usual, any decks I use will be listed down below. But 2025 is going to be ruled by, is ruled by Mars. So be ready for a year of passion. And be wary of the direction that your passion will lead you, because passion can sometimes be romantic. It can be full of art and creation. It can also be quite dangerous. Okay, it could be very angry too. You can be very passionate in your overall emotional expression this year too. And that might be the thing that leads you towards your next step. So I do recommend, this is a year where you really truly balance out all forms of manifestation or goal setting and tasking and things like that with equal amounts of relaxation and ways of perhaps maybe bringing yourself back into your center and doing more of what it is that you enjoy. Without it feeling like a routine and such, okay? Because that sort of balance is really going to keep you with an even energetic flow, I suppose, that won't have you kind of create chaos in your life where it really doesn't have to belong. Because collectively, there's going to be a lot going on in the world, okay? We're not doing a world predictions right now, but it's going to be a bumpy ride, so buckle on in. And in order to not lose your head, do more of what makes you happy, what allows you to recenter, that helps you find peace. I would highly recommend just sitting in nature, or going for a walk, run, whatever it is that you want to do, but just be outside, okay? Around green and blue and any other beautiful nature-esque colors, especially in the summertime and spring when things just start like blooming and it's just like, wow, okay? Like nature, 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 nature. Balance out that fire. There's no cards that are coming out right now, so we're just going to keep on channeling in. Soul fam, how are you doing? How are you feeling about this year? Is there anything that perhaps maybe in future spiritual check-ins y'all want me to address and kind of cater y'all through? I know these aren't personal readings, as of course I'm reading to YouTube and the general collective of who it is that kind of gets drawn in here. But if there is anything specific that you would like me to generally address, I'm happy to do that. We are now on a schedule, soul fam, okay? Expect videos on this channel from me on Tuesdays. Consider them Tarot Tuesdays, if you will. I'm working on having a lot of them be more pick a cards because I know y'all just really enjoy those ones. And of course, there's going to be the sporadic spiritual check-in. And most weekends, I will be doing a Soul Fam live on either a Saturday or a Sunday, where I just check in with y'all. I go on live, we hang out for like an hour or so. I typically read about maybe on average like 5 to 6 people. So you're free to tune in and see if you get your energy read that day. But yeah, I know that I am feeling ready to tackle on this year, and I genuinely hope that you are too. And remember to also find that equal amount of balance, okay? We have reflection, finally. We got pulled to a card and it's not choosing to focus. That's all right. You might, ooh. So there's 2 messages that came out of this for me. For some of y'all, for one, you could be looking back and really missing who you were. Like you miss yourself at a point or a junction in your life. You want to go back to that. You have this desire of making your future reflect your past, but in more optimal ways, in ways where you've really learned your lesson. You know, it's like you're looking forward and yet looking back at the same time simultaneously, right? And I'm interested in the outcome of that. So we can tune into that if energy allows. And there's a part 2 to this, okay? Someone from your past might be really looking at you, so fam, with a lot of like envy right now or something. There's something that you're coming out with or have been doing that is really allowing you to stand, let's say, in your authenticity or in your brilliance. You're sharing something, whether it's your art, whether it's your word, your business, or you're just, it doesn't even have to do anything about like social media, okay? But like you're doing really well in an aspect of your life. And someone from your past just might be looking onto you going like, the audacity that the soul fam right now is actually happy when, who knows where they're at in their life. Do we look into both of these scenarios? Should we just like dive in? Sure, why not? Honestly. Trying to peek into the decks that we're gonna use though. All right, so as I'm sure you can already tell by the chapters, this reading is now kind of divided up. So go with whatever it is that resonates with you. We're gonna start with your energy. It was something about the past, okay, into the future, wanting to recreate something that once was, but better. I'm hearing, I've learned, I'm different now. Yeah, damn right you are. We got the 2 of Pentacles coming out here, okay? So once upon a time, you made a choice, okay? Pentacles, yes, they are a lot to do with the physical body, but it's also like the physical human experience, the tangible. It's about money. It's about what's around us, like our general human experience, from our physical body to our existence, to the places, to the grocery stores, all of that, okay? Like it's our physical reality, and you chose one way of being. And either something consistently didn't really work out as you'd always hoped it would, and or you deliberately sabotaged something and went left when you wanted to go right, or vice versa. I don't know, apparently directions had something important to do with one of y'all. I'm literally seeing like the kind of the cliche of like someone standing at like a fork in the road, and there's like the 5 of Wands comes out. So this path, whether things were working out, like maybe you did choose the right path, quote unquote, but it was very challenging along the way. It was like one thing after another, you know what I mean? I feel like that's the path I personally took. It's like, oh my God, when will it end? You know what I'm saying? And or, there's a lot of y'all tuning in, so bear with me here. You were actively fighting your will and your desire to turn around and again, like make things right. I don't know, some of y'all are like sitting with some like guilt or like I chose wrong. Like what does that even mean? We also have the 2 of Swords, so there's quite a decision, okay? There's quite a path that you took in life, and it poses a lot of questions, but it also taught you a lot too. So that's really good. But for whatever reason right now, and maybe it's because it's the start of a new year that we're sitting here really resonating on our past and not wanting to repeat certain things, but there is to be an emphasis right now on these successes as well, okay? Because if we're going to reflect so much on our woes and all our troubles and obstacles and chaos that come from this decision or whatever it was for you personally, let's also be like, well, I accomplished that and I also learned that, and if it wasn't for this would have never happened, you know? It's like sometimes like the really difficult negative things, quote unquote, like the stuff that makes us think that we're actually on the wrong path ended up being the right path all along. It's just we were convincing ourselves because it was so damn uncomfortable, or it was so difficult, or you endured a lot, you thought that you were on the wrong path, because if you were on the right path, wouldn't it feel positive? Wouldn't it feel super happy? Wouldn't it be like lucky and like you endured hardship for a reason? And the wheel is now turning, which is really wonderful, because now you have this, again, like this burning desire to like manifest it working out this time, whatever that is for you, okay? Nose itches coming on it. Ugh. These intuitive tics of mine, I swear. I try not to do it, but then it's like it gets so itchy. So that I sit here like, just, anyways. Could have been relationships and or money and or relocation, where it's like you had the choice of 1 to 2 places. You really wanted one thing and then you ended up going with the other. Maybe thinking and squandering that this thing will always be there or things will work out differently or something. The best way that I could explain it is like locations, because that's like a personal example that I can share with y'all without obviously divulging too much sensitive shit, I guess. But like we have, let's say Canada, and we have Europe. I loved living where I was living in Canada throughout my last few years there. And I decided to move to Europe, but then I'm sitting here going like, would I have regret staying in Canada? You know, like would things be different? But if I hadn't moved, then I wouldn't have accomplished all of this extra other stuff that I had to go through, as difficult as it was, and like all of that stuff. I wouldn't have been able to accomplish all of this as I had in Europe if I would have stayed in Canada. So it's like you kind of do and go down the direction that your soul guides you towards, because there are experiences that are on this path that are more difficult, and should you be willing to stand in them, like I know you have, this is a lot of your past energy. If you guys are still here tuning into this is your past energy, and you're like, damn, like I did that, like I went through a lot, you know. And I'm recognizing that, and I'm offering a little bit of a personal example here because, you know, I don't know who the heck's tuning in here, so let me know with a comment and a like or something. Know that that's a really big success. You overcoming, you still being here. That's kind of like the, I don't know, the disadvantage of being so like quote unquote like awakened or whatever, right? Like being awake, not the media way of looking at that woke culture phrasing, but rather truly having the awareness of yourself, of others, of truths beyond your own perceptions. Like I think that a lot of y'all had gone through so much that it really broadened your level of understanding of the world, of yourself, of your upbringing, of your woes and your triumphs as well. And that has shifted the way that you are now willing to reapproach something from the past and start again. And I'm really sensing that you guys are like really pushing forward towards that, which is really beautiful. What's the outcome of that? Can we look into that? I just heard no. What? All right, well, can I see what happens next? I heard yeah, okay. All right, so what happens next? The Soul Fam chooses this quote-unquote right path and they want to redo it. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so it's going to be quite a road, meaning very much accomplishing a lot of goals along the way to this ultimate retribution in a way, but like positive retribution for like choosing wrong once upon a time. You're restarting, you're redoing in life, but there are things that have to be corrected. There is additional healing and checkpoints, if you will, that you must now, and you are likely willfully choosing to undergo, to push forward and be like, okay, like I'm going to do more than just say I want a restart, or I want this outcome to really be what I'm hoping it could be, by setting it into motion, by taking the appropriate actions, by trusting it so wholeheartedly that I start accomplishing more. The Nine of Pentacles is a very self-independent, driven, also able to interconnect with their spirit though. Usually, it's not quite depicted in this card, but usually the Nine of Pentacles is depicted with a woman that is holding a bird of some variety. So there is some form of connection to like the divine, to nature, to your wisdom, your divine wisdom, if you will. Like your intuition is what I'm saying here, okay? Like just your-ness, you know, your authenticity. You start trusting and actioning more on that and building up on that. You're going to be getting more money, more recognition, more, I think you're going to be experiencing a lot more worth for your value. But like if, for example, this has something to do with like relationships, just for those who may apply, you maybe actually kind of be called to hermit a little bit more. Like I think that you're going to be a little bit more single is what I'm saying here, okay? But single is a good thing. I mean, take it from someone who's been single for like basically 8 years now. Okay, maybe I'm biased, but you kind of, it's pretty chill, you know? Like it's no complaints over here personally, but hey, moving right along. Maybe finding some hope and love in that too would be pretty good for you as well, but that doesn't have to resonate with anyone. You can just be feeling a little bit more reserved and finding that light within yourself too, because that is a really cool thing about the Hermit that I personally enjoy, is that like wisdom and light within, and you start uncovering that, right? Like you go into your quote unquote shadows. So like I said, like correcting, like course correcting, or showing up and proving to yourself, proving to others, proving to whatever and whomever it is that y'all are on. I don't know. Again, there's a bunch of y'all tuning in. Let me know. But that decision, that will to show up and be like, I'm going to do this damn thing. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show myself. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to myself. Like that kind of like courage and follow through. Admirable. And it's going to lead likely to some internal shifts and perception changes as well, which is great because for the external environments and our realities to change, we must be that change first, right? We must vibrationally meet for us to be aware of the things that we want to be more aware of. So we're not just closed in and looking at the shit that isn't working out. We are now focusing a little bit more on what is working out, and that is what we also start magnetizing and bringing back in. That is how you start fixing shit up. So if you are leading a path of more chaos, just know that you're likely repeating patterns that you are now actively aware of wanting, and thus having the capability to change and shift. So hey, all luck to ya. Let's now shift focus a little bit and discuss whoever this third party jealousy energy is, okay? Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So fam, I'm sensing someone like hate watching you. Are you okay? I don't know if I'm gonna take a whack at it, and like there might be something. You don't have to be like super actively posting on social media, but like I think social media has something to do with it, because I think this person is also like really disconnected from you. And like, granted, this is of course a pocket makeup mirror kind of a thing, but it's giving me phone, you know, someone looking at their phone and just hate watching you. Can you tell me more about that, please? Okay, hold on. What is my soul fam doing, first of all? Like, can we relate this to the soul fam a little bit more? The Page of Wands. Okay, so you're finding kind of like the zhuzh in your own life. I don't know. What does that even mean? It's like you're living life to your own advantage. You're taking the opportunities that you have, and you're kind of having fun with it too. Even if it's very private, like that could be the thing too. Again, it's not really about how much you're sharing, but that you've shared just enough that someone, perhaps even a group of people, but I'm specifically kind of feeling like singular kind of energies here in the collective. Someone just doesn't like it. Someone doesn't like you being happy. Someone doesn't like the changes that you've made, right? Like the shifts, y'all have changed a lot. If you're still here, I'm talking to you. You changed a lot. 2024 did a number on you, which is relatable. I get it. 2024 was also an incredibly karmic year, which means that there's a lot of those repetitive lessons, or like just things that we got to grow out of, things that we had to feel through, things that we had to decide against or for, you know, and start shifting and breaking patterns. Now it's time to start reaping some of those changes, right? And I think that is what this year is going to be for y'all. And some people were less willing to do that, right? For others, they might also have had the false impression that you kind of have it easy. Like, you make it look so easy. Like, you're just going to overcome all of this stuff, and like things are working out for you on every front, like just because you decided it. I think like someone can't really grasp how much work and tenacity and like painful like mourning and grieving that y'all have gone through to get to this point where you can actually feel a little bit more free and do things more for yourself without the guilt, without the shame, without wondering how other people might react, especially if negatively, right? Like, there's been a lot of y'all that I'm sensing in here too, that has really broken out of traditional norms, whether this is society-based, whether this is from like a friend group, you just kind of went your own way, or of course there is the big one, and that's family, traditions, expectations, how we're raised, and how and who we're supposed to be at whatever particular age or junction in life, or you have to marry this type of person or do this for work, you know, and like you've broken out of that in some regard. Not all of what I said has to apply to you specifically. Remember, again, this is a YouTube reading. If this is resonating with you, please like and comment. Let me know. I love connecting with y'all. Seriously, I do hope that this year is going to be a year I can connect with a lot more of you. It's also my 11th house perfection year, fun fact. So I do hope that that actually requires and invites more of our connections. I don't know, so fam, but I think we're going to be growing a lot this year. So I'm excited to meet more of y'all. And I'm excited to hear that you're still doing your own thing despite someone disliking it. I have 44 on my clock here. So follow the 4s. The Hanged Man, and notice the eyes. This person is stuck watching you, soul fam. And it's funny because Spirit just said give them a show. So continue doing things your way, how it is that you feel the most aligned to. Prove them wrong. I don't know. I think that like that statement from like that first portion of the reading there about like your past and your future and like the redoing stuff or whatever, right? Like maybe something hadn't worked out towards, let's say, I don't know, you want to hypothetically become a doctor, but like on your way of getting there, there was money issues and thus schooling issues, or maybe you dropped out at one point or failed something, you know, and now you have this opportunity to redo that. You've been granted some form of a grant, I guess, scholarship, and you get to do this again, and now you're ready for it. Like you're ready to accomplish all of this, and you're on the right path of doing that, right? Like you're showing up to your classes differently. You have a different approach to what was once already done, but it's proving those who witnessed you quote unquote fail or sabotage or whatever it may be for you personally, switch that up. And you're actually doing it, you're actually accomplishing it, and you're proving those people wrong. And I think those people just don't like seeing that, to be honest. I think this person's like really in their ego and they just don't like it because they're in the same place doing the same old thing. And then here you are, again, taking all of the opportunities. And in their eyes, you might be kind of flaunting it or boasting about it, but you're just living. But you know the phrase, misery loves company, right? So the way that people choose to perceive others might be a reflection of something from within themselves, you know, maybe something that they are to work through, that they don't have no one has like the desire to experience like difficult emotions and uncomfortable states. but you still have this willingness to overcome whatever life throws at you. That so many people, to be honest, like that's quite a rare quality. I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad to be witness to a lot more people actually push through the desire to comply and to belittle themselves and sabotage themselves and do things that are for others as opposed to themselves, whilst being heartbroken in the process. Like, so many people choose that stagnation, choose other people's expectations. They are too afraid to be themselves, to want life for themselves, to love who it is that they want to love, to do and make money and experience life the way that they want to, you know? You've been doing that. And you're standing out. Not always in the best way. And yet, we have the Ace of Coins. So you're really going to, oh, and the Knight of Coins is the bottom of the deck here. It's about to close that off. So you're going to keep kind of grabbing the bulls by its horns, if you will. You're going to continue to take the right steps, if you will, towards realigning to a path that you really wish to be on. One caveat to these kind of metaphors that I offer, because I allude to the journey as a path so often, because more often than not, especially with new clientele, I typically get the "am I on the right path?" question. And so fam, I want y'all to be aware that there is technically no path. And if we want to allude to the metaphor of there being a path, you lay the brakes with every step that you take, with every decision that you make. And no matter how it is that is being built for you, is always just right, because at one point or another, we are quote unquote destined or fated to experience particular experiences in this human existence. And regardless of whichever way we go, yes, we can squander things and we can sabotage. And when we have the awareness, because that path, those decisions, those bricks that we've laid had taught us a level of awareness that we required in order to shift focus and really make it happen, like that needed to happen on your way on this path to your ultimate dream goal or state or existence or whatever phrase you want to use, okay? Whether this is a very specific goal or a full life's dream and how you want to exist every day. I don't know, like just that is always you on the right path. It's just your path. It'll feel right the more that you do, the more that you become accustomed to the uncomfortable alongside being open to the success. The uncomfortable right now too, especially externally from you, just might be really brought to your awareness. If not already, and this is a confirmation reading, or in the very near future, you're going to look at people and you're going to notice they be looking at you sideways, or they be asking a little too much, or they be judgy, or they just might kind of be like, who do you think you are? Or like something, I don't know, or like you've changed, like it's a bad thing, you know, like come on, it's a good thing. That's kind of what I believe. Maybe that's just my Sagittarius rising speaking here, but like I think we're here to change, to better ourselves, right? To grow, to make mistakes and to rectify them, to you know, understand that there really are no mistakes. They're just experiences and what we make of them. Right? So anyways, I think that, I believe, I'm sensing that there's going to be more success than you yourself have even bargained for. I'm going to definitely cheer for y'all and tell you to keep on doing your own thing, you know, as long as you're not hurting anybody and you're glowing, you're finding your peace, your happiness, you're trying out new things and it's feeling good to you, you know. And of course, bonus if you help others along the way too. Keep on doing that, okay? And let the haters hate. I don't know. Let them be flies on the wall. And you can shoo them out or thwack them, whatever you want. Anyways, not condoning violence in any way. Let's keep the peace. That is it, soul fam. I do hope that you enjoyed the spiritual check-in. Let me know again how you guys are doing. If there's anything in specific you want me to maybe discuss in the next live or in the next video, stay tuned to the pick of cards that are coming your way. Again, every Tarot Tuesdays on this channel. Tune in, okay? And yeah, have a beautiful 2025, and I'll catch you in the next video. Mwah! Bye.